How's it going, everybody? My name's Dave Whipple and you're watching Bush Radical. And welcome back to the Alaskan Cabin Project. As you can see on this build, we're building a stockade style cabin. And you start from the corners and you build in. Build the windows, build the wall sections. But eventually you're going to end up with a gap that needs to be filled. And that's what's essentially a key log. That last log is going to have to be fit right in to the spot that's available. I can't just throw up a 6-inch log or throw up an 8-inch log. That log is going to have to be specifically cut to fit that spot, to finish the wall. You can see right here I got this piece of plastic and it's basically keeping the mosquitoes out because I'm living in the cabin right now. And this gap is going to have to be filled with a log, and that log is going to have to be specifically cut to fit in that spot. It's probably going to have to be put in and taken out half a dozen times until I've carved it down to where it's right. So in today's episode, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to finish up all of the walls with the key logs that they take to finish up that gap. So let's start out with this section right here. Now what this is it's going to be 3 short logs down here, and then there's going to be a header log right here, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to hang the top 3 logs. They're actually going to get screwed into the double top plate. So what I've done this morning is I've taken a good sized tree and I've two-sided about a 10-foot section, and I'm going to cut my 3 27 inchers out of there. Let's go cut those to length, and then we'll bring them back in. We should be able to put the first 2 in, no problem. The third one is going to have to be custom fit. So here are a couple of those logs. I've not only two-sided them, I've also cut the bevel. That'll save me running a chainsaw in the house and smoking the place out. So I'm going to take the log right underneath of it, cut that to the same length, and cut the bevels to the same size. Now I'll take this last log that's laying over here. I cut that one extra wide just so I had enough material to fill in that gap and I can trim it down to size. That should be about it. So you can see I've brought in my 3 logs that are going to go 1, 2, 3, and my sill log that's going to sit on top of those. So what's the next thing we need to do at this point? Eat breakfast. Today we're doing brats and eggs. I like to just cut my brats in half and cook them as a big sausage patty. So if the loggers back in the day ate themselves a big breakfast, why should today be any different? I mean, the wood still weighs the same, right? That'll make you feel like a logger. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. There's the way I like to do it. Toast, jam, sausage, and egg. All at once. Kind of nice having all this material right here inside. So even if it rains, I can get most of this done. Beauty. Okay, so I'm ready to take down this piece of plastic here that's kept the mosquitoes and bees out of here, and we'll put that wall in. Okay, so I've got my 3 logs hung up top, and I've got my 2 logs down at the bottom, and this gap here in the middle is 8 1/4 inches. So I'm going to cut this log right at about 8 1/4, maybe just a fuzz shy, so I don't have to just drive it in with a sledgehammer. So we're going to go about 8 1/8 of an inch, and then I will set up my chainsaw jig to cut that slab off of there. And that will make a key log that will fit right in that area. Alright, you can see I've got my jig set up so it should cut that slab off just about to my line. I may have to be a little careful with it because it's a very short cut, but let's make that cut. There we go. That looks like a good fit. I measured my window opening, and it means that I'm going to have to trim this header down just a little bit to get my 42 inches. Right there's about 1.5 inches. Now we're ready to put that one single log in. And that log needs to be cut 4.5 at the bottom and 5 at the top, which is it's a pretty small log. And this one right here is going to be hopefully the last log I actually have to mill on this entire cabin, because I've got the other 4 cut that go in the last wall. Set my jig. I'm going to tack my jig right in to that 2x6. About like that. And I'll come down here to this end. Here's where we've already cut. And we're going to go 4.5 inches on this end. I'm just going to use my speed square here to kind of figure out where this 2x6 needs to be to get that cut. Looks like I got to move it over to about right there. That looks just about right. Well, let's see what we ended up with. We're spot on there at 5. We should be 4.5 on the other end. Well, down here on this end, we're sitting pretty at 4.5. So that log should go right in. Oh, don't go nowhere. Get in there, buddy. Yeah. Check this guy out. This is one of my favorite locals. This is the Sawyer beetle. They're big, they're tough, they're very sinister looking. Lots and lots of people are just scared to death of these things. But they're actually a really, really cool bug. And it's always good to see them. They actually make a little noise. Hear that? He's not very happy with me holding his foot down. Whew. Check out the size of this bald hornet in my window. Just to give you some idea how big he is, there's a quarter. That is one big hornet. He just wants to get out. You know, honestly, I despise yellow jackets, but I don't mind the bald hornets so much. You know, they're big and mean and whatnot. They pack a punch. But I've been stung probably 100 times by yellow jackets, and once by one of these guys, and just because I swatted him, he's on my neck. Come on, big fella. I hope I got you. Come on, bald hornet. I'm gonna let this guy go. Hopefully you don't want to fight. Now get out. Come on, go. Yellow jackets, on the other hand, I lump them right in with mosquitoes. The war is never over. I'll kill every one of them that gets in here, without any question. But the bald hornets, honestly, they pretty much leave you alone. Come on, baby. So you can see right there, I just fit my very last one in. Forgot to run the camera. And it's, you can see it's really skinny at the bottom. And of course it's quite a lot bigger at the top. Just because it needed to fill the gap that existed. I'll screw that one off and pack the insulation in. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as I fitted these last few key logs in our stockade style log cabin build. It doesn't seem like that long ago that I put the corner posts on and the double top plates and started this cabin from the ground up. Thank you guys so much for following this series and for all the good comments and questions. And I've got a lot more videos to come on this cabin project because even though the logs are done, there's still a whole lot left to do. But as far as cutting and fitting logs, I've cut my last log for this cabin. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Dave Whipple. You've been watching Bush Radical. And be radical, eh? See you soon.